15 seconds. Guidance is internal. 12, 11, 10, 9. Ignition sequence start. 6.
This is 420 Law Office Radio. Well, hello YouTube. Thank you very much for touching base. This is 420 Law Office. I am Stuart Richland. I hope you're doing fine. You know, reflecting on medical marijuana here in California, it has been a blessing for so many people. So many patients' lives have been improved, suffering alleviated, conditions healed, or at least the pain thereof reduced. And that goes into the tens and hundreds of thousands of people, and that's lots of families and a lot of benefit. In addition, the studies have shown that where medical marijuana is available, the opiate use goes down, and the deaths from opiates, suicides, and violent crime, as well as car accidents, go down. So, welcome to 420lawoffice.com. the internet home of my little law practice and corner of the web. The principal services that I offer are that I have a $500 consultation, which there's a $1,000 upsell for people who wish to create their own nonprofit corporation. And then I also act as an expert witness in court. And finally, I'm a litigator and have had the honor of representing collectives as well as patients before the courts of California in probably 10 or more different matters in which we've challenged the local ordinances of various cities and counties. So that's who I am, and let me show you what my books look like. I have books that go with each of my processes. The $500 consultation includes this book, and this is the 8th or 9th edition of it. It contains a comic book in front with some original material that I've created that can help you understand how medical marijuana works the way I see it. And since I've been court qualified as an expert many times, I think you'll find that I have a reasonable way of explaining and organizing the information. Here are the 3 defenses in the state of California. Here's an interesting page. Is there such a thing as legitimate delivery in California? And what about child protective services? Here's a page on the tax consequences and handling of medical marijuana. So this is about 109 pages, and the main topics are federal, state, and local law. And the end product is that you'll have a good handle on how federal, state, and local law affect your rights. Some patients who have heard this information realize that they then need a nonprofit organization called a mutual benefit corporation. The mutual benefit corporation is that particular type of entity which the California Secretary of State has authorized pursuant to the Attorney General's guidelines here in California as the correct entity for the defense of medical marijuana. In fact, the jury instruction here in California makes specific reference to whether there is a collective in place. So here's the documentation that enables someone to quickly create their own collective, and it only takes about a week to begin to have the defense in place. And I'm proud to say that I was part of the case of People versus Bagnani, in which the legal standard was set for what is needed to raise the defense. In that case, the defense wasn't allowed to the defendant, and it was reversed on appeal. And all he really needed was his nonprofit and his seller's permit under that case. And it's very easy to obtain those. What about business licenses? Well, most cities are not that easy to deal with when it comes to business licenses, and each city and county has their own rules. So licensability is a whole secondary issue. Of course, we do go into it to some extent, but who knows what your collective may be doing and in what city? Only you do. And I will give you tools to understand what the rules are in your city and town and to understand what your legal strategies are. So there's federal, state, and local law. State law is the properly formed and operated collective and understanding of how the defense works. And of course, federal law is understanding that federal law still says it's a felony to grow, sell, or distribute marijuana. And unfortunately, that exists even though state law allows a defense for medical marijuana. That's just part of the mindfuck of the situation. However, the Obama administration has stated that they would make it a low priority to prosecute patients following state law perfectly, and that they make it a lower priority for patients and their caregivers versus commercial activity. Now, ideally, a California nonprofit, properly formed and operated, will be able to raise the defense here in California if charged with a charge of possession for sale, and should be a low priority for the federal government, as it should not be commercial. In other words, it should be a properly formed nonprofit that only coordinates transactions between members as required by the California Attorney General's guidelines. I'll be going over those with you too. Hey, look around my site, check out some of my YouTubes. They go back a long way, all the way back to 2008 and before. It's been a pleasure and an honor to have represented patients and their collectives and to help people get free and to know the rules so that they don't get caught in trouble, so that they can do preventative law. That's a big part of what my law practice is about. All right, take good care, and thank you very much for touching base.